What's going on, everybody? Hey, Monty here with another episode, another edition of Hey Chill, it's just a podcast. And we're here back with another week. These two already getting on my damn nerves. Ed was here last week. I ain't seen Tay in like 2 weeks.
Y'all miss me?
Because somebody threw her back out.
All right.
And now she's back already getting on my nerves. Anyway, we're here with another week. And let me tell you guys, it has been eventful. It has been good. It's been solid. You already know that I'm about to go on a tangent of just bragging about myself, but we did it, baby. We got another one on national television, but this time is different because the blogs were talking about it, the fans are talking about it. We have the people who love it, people who hate it, people who are like, we're gonna miss the old one, but we still like the new one. You know, it's a new thing, so people got to get used to it. But boy, shout out to Private Party, man. They're about to go fight for the championships this weekend. This is it's just different than last time. Last time they didn't really talk about it. They only played it for a few weeks and then they went back to their old music. This time they're talking about it. Like, I'm talking a big one. I'm talking Fightful. That's a big rigs. That's a big rigs, you feel me? Anyway, but yes, a lot of people have been excited about it, and the fans were doing the dance and all of that. So it's really cool to have this opportunity.
You know what the dance is?
To flex on them dance? Well, I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to show it to you guys here in a second after we introduce our guest, but I just had to, you know what I'm saying? But yes, I'll get back to that in a minute. We have Coco to plug on the panel today. Miss Coco to plug.
Oh, congratulations, guy.
Dang.
Yeah, congratulations to you, man.
You know, these two, they hate on me.
You doing big things, man. When it comes to gaining exposure, that's big, guy.
Talking about they had an average of around 700,000 viewers throughout the night, so that means around that many people saw it when it debuted, and then it played Friday, and then it played Saturday, and it didn't only play once. It played 3 times the first night. It played twice the second night, and it played twice the third night.
Okay.
It's like, because they're winning. Like, they've been winning matches. They just won the squash match the night they debuted. Then they came out Friday. They won that match, and then they just did a qualifier on Wednesday, or wait, what's today?
Today is
Monday. On Saturday, and they won that, and that's now they get to go fight for the championships. And it's about to be played on pay-per-view. So I'm just like,
that's what's up.
Yeah,
it's going to be played every single week they come out, boy. And they getting a big push.
Things.
So proud of you.
Anyway, all right, but yeah, I'll play. Matter of fact, we'll just play it real quick, and then we'll get on with the show since we're right here, and I already have it pulled up.
Willow really whacked her.
Shout out to Ty Lee, the rapper, the performer.
This is a tag team match set to one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Approaching the ring from Brooklyn, New York, at a combined weight of 381 pounds. Say, quit! Private Party!
Well, Private Party on the second ever episode of Dynamite in the tournament to crown the first ever AEW World Tag Team Champions. The number 8 seed, Private Party, upset the number 1 seed, the Young Bucks. It was a moment that, really turned AEW on its head in only the second episode of Dynamite, Tony.
It was one of our most unforgettable moments, no doubt about it.
Yes, sir.
And their opponents, the Iron Savages.
And they just ended up going to squash those dudes.
Definitely a size difference here.
Good times.
Okay, yes, I just want to shed light on the fact that what's today? What's this? This is what month are we in? October?
Yeah.
October. About a year ago this time, Monty was sitting in that room like, bro, I just want to do something that means some shit. Like I'm making music. I'm doing this all the time, but it don't mean nothing to me no more. I don't even want to do it no more. I want to do it something that means something. I want to be on a movie soundtrack. I wanted to be on TV. I want to look at him. I'm just saying, he kind of like manifested that. He really did.
Speaking it into existence.
He really did manifest
that. It's a part of what I want to talk about today. A little bit.
It's
that was like I really do be thinking about that frequently,
and
because
I think
really
the craziest thing is just like how big of a wrestling fan I've become again, and now in my adult years, like at the end of 22, and then for it to be that specific thing that I had my music on was like, whoa, that's crazy, and it's an entrance song to a wrestler is a huge part of their gimmick, a huge part of their character.
Yes.
It's a huge part of them.
why I
Like,
told you,
when
big
you hear
for
Stone Cold's
exposure,
music
brother.
play, that glass break and his, you know it's Stone Cold's music.
Well, I'm
you don't even
from
gotta watch
the
wrestling.
era of Hulk Hogan.
Oh yeah.
So he had the theme music, and he could get on the side and do all that stuff. So I
You
kind
got
of
Shawn Michaels. I know I'm sexy.
can't remember.
Like, so
some
theme
of that.
music, just the theme music for the wrestlers are one of the biggest,
big.
most important part of their gimmicks and everything that they're doing. So for us to get the reception that we've gotten and people are liking it and not liking it and loving it and hating it at the same time, it's been awesome, man. And I can't wait to see how far it goes. You feel me? But anyway, all right. So moving on from that, we got Coco to plug up here. Coco to plug has been a long time overdue. We actually did an interview with her months back, but
Definitely
like
did, and
the
it was a dope interview, and that's
whole
why
thing got messed up and the footage got messed up, and this time it ain't happening that way. You know, it didn't go
now.
down like that.
You don't keep chewing like a cow.
Yeah, I am.
Oh, all right. Sorry.
Apologize. Anyway,
man,
so
sorry, I
let's
ain't know
talk.
that.
So Coco, give us give the audience just like a brief description of who you are, what you do. You know.
Ooh. Well, I come from the entertainment world, but now got more into the educational world. So, about 12, 13 years ago, I started doing events here locally in the 757. And I wanted to find something that would help myself gain some exposure, you know? And I started drifting into, nope, I didn't start. I met an artist. And that was one of the things I had said. I never would date an artist, but
Wow.
I happened to be invited to meet, oh, I was talking about this earlier, French Montana. Yeah. and yeah. And I met an artist. And that's kind of how I started finding interest in wanting to deal with artists more. So I started putting artists on our local radio here, 103 Jams, and it's in partnership with DJ Jack of Spade. We do the Spotlight Showcase, and it is something that I have absolutely loved doing. I'm going on 12 years doing this and have partnered with Jack of Spade in helping talent in our community here in the 757. And I've had people travel from other places. Through being a part of the entertainment business, I've had a chance for people to open up for national artists. I had a chance to even meet Nipsey Hussle.
Rest in peace.
Talent had a chance to open up French Montana, Yo Gotti, Chief Keef, Bobby V, Casanova. I don't even run them names like I used to. I do when I get in the building with the young people, because that's the stuff they kind of pay attention to. But when I'm talking to artists, adult artists right now, I kind of just give them a little bit more of the testimony of where we've been, what we've been doing. You know, just what Monty having this with the wrestlers with a theme song. Like, people really don't know how big that is.
Exactly.
Maybe. I was in here talking to a young man, and I was telling him about how we had a chance to have American Idol fast track passes. I don't know if you all remember American Idol, but they had this line that people had to get in order to get on American Idol. And we were given fast track passes here in the 757. And how American Idol found our open mic was through hashtagging. We had hashtag open mic more than anyone in the 757. So I'm telling that story, guys, to just kind of tell you a little bit years of work, you know, and now we still connecting with the artists, still bridging the gap with the artists. You'll hear me say that often. because that is a nonprofit organization that I founded with a few other people in the 757 as well, and has been in existence since 2018. So I'm a founder of a nonprofit organization called Bridging the Gap Youth Program. And I will say, I think that thinking about artists and talent and wanting to find a bridge for you guys, you know, I think that even what Monty's having done with him right now, that's gonna really be a bridge for him. So when people's like, Tam, you know, Bridging the Gap is a real popular name. I was like, yeah, I know, but it really means something to me. Bridge gaps. So that's a little bit about me. 12, 13 years I've been bridging gaps out here, and my nickname is Coco the Plug. So I plug people in with opportunities.
Sounds like you are the bridge.
Well, I mean, I've known Coco since I was 17, 18. I met her through the Spotlight Showcase, and I remember I came. You were at Queensway.
Yeah.
And we sat down and talked for like 2 hours just about social media and marketing and music and just all different types of shit for a few hours. And I was just there to pick up tickets, you know. But we ended up talking for a while, and then from that, the relationship built through time, and then we were doing events, fucking all types of shit. Oh man, we were doing stuff for the kids. We were doing the 3D lab stuff, the lab downtown. There was just all through the years. There's been a lot of different things. I've even done radio interviews with her. I've been on. We went to what 90, 80. What was it? 87.7, 87.
Yeah.
The streets.
Yeah. Streets 87.
She brought me on a freaking interview on that shit, and I ended up saying a freaking DJ's name from another. They were like, "Nah, you can't do that." I was. Nah, but yeah, a lot of events. I want to talk a little bit about the showcase real quick because it's been going for a long time, right? And we were talking about it earlier, but artists they have to understand that music, finding a hit, has to go through a process of steps. Like, you have to know a song's a hit, you know what I mean? And there's like certain steps that you got to take in order to know that you truly have a hit that you can push, you know? And I feel like for the showcase, that is the spot, one of the stepping stones that you need to take every time you make a new song to figure out if it's a hit or not. You know what I mean? And you also will always have that opportunity to potentially be on the radio and all that good stuff, you know? And so what is this showcase meant to you? And like, how come you've kept it going through all the adversity, through all the controversy, just through all the things that's happened? How come you've kept it going this long?
He probably know more controversy than I do.
Well, when I say controversy, you know, some of the events they've just
listen.
You know, things happen.
I have heard anything you could want to hear about this showcase, and I've repeatedly heard Jack tell people, this is Coco's show. And, you know, it really isn't just my show. I was telling the artist that was here earlier, like, it's a part of the blueprint of what you're supposed to be doing. I'm a person who I look at things in process and procedure, right? Blueprint.
You're a planner.
Right. Planner, yeah, I can be all over the place.
You ain't lying about that.
But in my mind, when I'm thinking about things, I think about process and procedure. Mm-hmm. So for me, I'm looking at who wouldn't want a continuous way to be able to have someone who's been in the business over 20-something years, who's had a hit song. He's had a hit song too. It's called "Bend It Over." DJ Jack Spade is. He had
Bend It Over is DJ.
Yeah.
You lying?
No,
that's crazy.
Not.
That's crazy.
Yes. If
I need to really get on my credits.
Voice. Just listen to the voice. And we'll talk a little bit about that because the credits are not there for him.
That makes sense. Okay.
He didn't know the business like that. And he doesn't talk a lot about it, but a part of why he's partnered with me is because of that.
Yeah.
because back in the day when he made that song,
Lessons
he didn't
learned.
get his business. The business wasn't there. He didn't know it. So now he plays the song. But imagine it's been remade, redone, reshaped 50 times. New Orleans step. It got all these different things to it. But imagine if he had had the business attached to it. So going to why I have held on to it so long, it's not just an opportunity for artists to perform for, and I normally can't say that you have a chance to really, because you can't put it on the flyer, because that is not something mainstream radio wants us to be doing. You know, it's just not really what you're. So he's really there to view talent, you know, and it's truly up to him what he wants to do. So it's not necessarily that it's an event where, oh, I'm putting people on the radio. No. I have that personality in the building because that's a part of what he does.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, still you doing it. I mean, you're the one coordinating it, putting it together.
Yes.
So
yes,
you are still the plug for it. I'm just saying.
The plug,
Right?
yes.
That's the plug part.
You don't gotta be so damn humble, goddamn it.
I mean, listen, I've been out here a long time, yo. If you don't be humble out here, VA
No,
gonna
really.
eat you alive.
No, really.
So I just share my heart about it, where I believe that it's just a part of a blueprint, and we are very fortunate because a lot of cities and states don't even have it still. See, independent artists don't even know how fortunate they are to have something like this. I think that because at times, you know, I just believe if you're trying to build something in your market, something has to be sustained.
Yeah.
It has to be consistent.
Something that's substantial, you know, something that's solid, that sticks, that follows you. I feel you.
Yeah.
Well, what would people come here for think about artists when they say, oh, I want to go to Atlanta. Well, Atlanta has one show that's been going on for, I want to say 20 years, and it's T.I.'s label. T.I.'s never there.
Yeah, but
His producers are there. His label head is there.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So, again, what do we have here that would even draw people
To come.
from out of town to check for us?
You right.
So when I started it and I created it, these were the things that I was thinking about Monty. I don't know. 12, 13 years later.
No, that is a fact, though.
No, I only even initially asked the question because, like, it's important for people to understand the importance of these events to artists and, like, the people throwing them. Because a big narrative that's created in Virginia is, you know, the promoters are really in it just to take the money from the artists and they're not really given opportunities. And there's times that it happens. But I also, just from working with you, have seen what you have tried to do for a lot of artists that just don't see it. Or, like, they just don't understand it because they don't got the business.
Cloud. I'm being a little funny. It's like some type of smoke cloud over some of the things that over the years, and Monty knows because he's been right there.
Oh, yeah.
And now that he's more seasoned, right, and have had to spend more money in building your brand, you know, you start to look at the promoters a little different. Like, wow, now I get it.
Yeah. Well, because there's, like I've said, I've dealt with situations that was bullshit. Let's be honest. But I've also dealt with situations that weren't. I felt like with the showcase, it wasn't a bullshit situation. It was just a missed opportunity for a lot of artists who didn't understand it. Where they did it a few times, once they got their song on the radio, that was it. They didn't really care anymore. And that's the part that a lot of the artists, they misinterpret. This is just a stepping stone to figure out if that song that you just created is a hit. Because if you don't get selected, that means it's probably not a hit. Because this is from a radio DJ who's on the radio all the time.
Wouldn't say that.
Jack a Spade.
I wouldn't say that.
I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying though.
when you tell an artist just because one DJ won't play
All right. You're right.
Doesn't
you're
mean
right.
that another
there's
won't.
multiple DJs and we
Right.
got DJ
No, I know.
Joe
All
Pro,
right,
we got DJ 757.
100%,
We
100%.
had, you know what I'm saying?
Let me restate.
Just because one DJ don't fuck with it, don't mean you go to Texas and they won't fuck with it.
100%. And I agree with you 100%. So let me restate what I was saying because he was 100% right of what he just said. Just because one DJ doesn't fuck with it doesn't mean others won't. But this is important to get these perspectives from other people who are not in your circle. DJs are important people to get this advice from. Now, just because he didn't like it and another DJ might, that's one thing, but it's still good to get that critique from that DJ who has that experience and time and music knowledge under his belt to say, this is what I think is a hit record or not a hit record. Regardless if you're going to let it be your end-all be-all or not, which you shouldn't. Like you were saying, just because he didn't like it doesn't mean somebody else won't, you know. You should still use it as a stepping stone to get critiques on songs, on your new music. You know what I mean?
You definitely can. And I will tell artists, yeah, like if this is in your budget to deal with a certain DJ in your area, but me personally, I would go to these showcases like coalition DJs. That's a big thing in this area. It's a big thing in the Atlanta area, North Carolina, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That is where you go and you perform, and you got not just one, but you have multiple out there that's looking like, hey, you know what? In my scene, in my area, this would jump, this would go.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I love your music, I love your sound, but your mix was trash. Hey, look, I love your mix, I love your voice, but your choreography wasn't there.
Yeah.
I would go to multiple, like a bigger source. You know what I'm saying? I always tell artists of the 757, use these opportunities to, like y'all were saying, a stepping stone, but perfect your craft.
Yeah.
Get to
That part.
Don't just get off a stage or get your music played on the radio and then just walk off or disappear.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, look, Coco, I seen you at Walmart. Hey, how you doing? I seen you at the last showcase. Oh, I seen you at a park or these events. Because truth be told, I respect everything that you were saying, but there's a lot of events where you can meet these people and really show face. It's up to the artist to really be out there and know their zone, know their area. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can meet on every day.
100%.
Every day.
100%.
I mean, use for example, I got cats that's in college right now, and they go to Nostalgia. Nostalgia is big. When they won't bring big names, Big Fendi was just here Friday.
I ain't gonna lie
If
to
you
you,
really wanted to
Nostalgia
meet some big names and really be in buildings with big people, you could have been on Denby Boulevard, you know what I'm saying, handling your business. But you gotta know your area, you gotta know your zone. And that goes for artists, actors, anybody. You know what I'm saying? If you don't step outside in your city, then you'll never know anything.
What you're talking about is branding yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, listen, this whole thing, and I was sharing, it was the artist here earlier, and me and him had a real good
I was saying
discussion.
y'all had to get the cameras rolling.
I know,
Yeah.
man. Me and him had a real good discussion. He made me feel really good just as a human being. I felt an energy from him. But branding is really big, I believe. Artists don't catch on to that. For me, like what he's talking about, you're right. It's many different DJs in your area, right? It's many different ways to gain exposure. One of the things that I share with artists is I found my DJ just like an artist should find his, right?
And how was that?
Meaning, I move kind of like an artist in my whole career. Everything that I've done, I've moved like an artist. I go from city to city, state to state, and bridge the gap. You know, when I decided I wanted to start a showcase for artists, I said, let me find something to attach myself to, you know, that will help me grow my brand, right? Not Coco growing. I'm just now really putting Coco on in flyers. At one point, it was just them and Jack, because it was about building the brand of the showcase, not building Coco's brand. But after a while, when, just like with an artist with music, people started saying that it's this person's show or it's Jack's show.
And you don't
it's
get
not.
your credits.
Yeah.
It's like you're not getting your flowers. You put in all that work for not to say for no reason, because at the end of the day, you know that you were on the back end of it. But it feels a lot better when you have people acknowledging you for.
I'm gonna get you a little further than the feeling. I want the bag that go along with the 12
That's
years.
a fact. You're right.
Because it's like a resume.
Yeah.
Just like on a job. You know, you add the different things you've done on a resume. And this is how your pay is increased.
You're right. And the fact that you didn't have
so
your name attached.
So if people are saying they did the show or not telling people, Coco put that together.
Yeah.
You know, Jack was real big with doing that. He's real big with letting people know, like, nah, I'm just come sit down, and he really just come sit down and drink Coca-Cola.
Yeah, and be the face.
And look at artists.
Yeah.
You know, and that's been 12 years. Ever. He barely say a word.
Any show that we did a lot of fucking shows, man. I think I've only heard him talk on the mic for longer than 60 seconds once.
Wow. Yeah. So he's really just like the support, and then it's like, Coco run this.
Because usually he gets on the mic and he'll just, I like y'all did a great job. Everybody should be proud. I'm going to select this song. Have a good night. Yeah. 6 seconds. Coco. I don't know.
Even with him deciding to do this podcast that we're going to do, I threw it at him. He said, yeah. And I said, well, Jack, I know you don't talk a lot. He was like, no, you just need me to ad-lib to what you're saying. Because, see, y'all, when I met Jack 12 years ago and he came into Queensway, I have a funny story and I'm gonna tell it real quick. 2 people came there to take him from me on the Hampton side. I'm a female. I'm 5'2", y'all. I put on a little bit weight since 12 years ago. I used to say 5'2", 125 pounds. Little lady, you know. So I let the 2 people into the show that came there to take him from me, because they said they were there to see him. And I'll never forget it. It was his first time there, and after the event I paid him, and he said, listen, I'm gonna do this with you. He said, I really don't even know you, for real. He said, people don't call me on this side that often. He said, but you did. And he said, those 2 people that came here to offer me double what you're paying me to come do it with them. And I'm not going to do that. Very stand-up guy.
That just shows
so when you
how much
say,
he is.
yes, it's a lot of DJs, I be saying, and some people got their opinions about the different DJs in the 757. I say just that story alone from that whole thing,
genuine,
just very genuine as a person. And I needed that going into this. You know what I'm saying?
Like a couple years ago, I was DJing a showcase, one of the showcases, and I happened to play my song Own Way while people were coming in, and Jack had came in while the song was playing, and he walked up to the DJ booth. He literally just got there. He walks up to the DJ booth. He said, is this you? I'm like, yeah. He's like, send it to me. A couple days later, Sunday Night Spotlight comes on. He plays it on the radio, but the message he said about me prior to the song, and how he said he was very happy to play it, and he was like, man, this one brings me great joy to play this, or whatever the fuck he said. It was that, to me, just meant a lot, because I was just like, damn, he could have just played the song and not said a damn thing, but he said he was happy to play. He said my name.
You know why that was?
You know,
because you had performed before, and he wants you to have a hit that he can pick.
Yeah, I remember that first time. We were so
like,
disappointed.
Monty feel good. Be like,
we were so fucking disappointed that first time. Oh, I remember that shit. Yeah.
Oh,
eventually,
you look nice.
You got over it, and you're able to tell artists, look, you got to keep coming back, or
damn right,
you keep trying until it happens.
It's right. Just because you think it's a hit, don't mean it's a hit. Is the thing. And just because your friends tell you it's a hit, don't mean it's a hit. Again, sometimes you got to have that experience where, like, you have that humbling experience, you know what I'm saying, where it's like you do get into an environment where our music didn't fit that. It is really all it was. It doesn't mean that our music wasn't good. It just means that it didn't fit what he was looking for. And so that's another thing that we have to, as artists, understand that as well. Like he was saying earlier, just because he don't like it, but that's because he has a certain style of music he likes, you know. So I had to understand that through time. But again, as I adjusted and grew and my music got better, eventually he found something he liked and then he played it, you know. But this is what artists got to understand is like your progression as an artist. Like when you first start, your music's probably not going to be nearly as good as it is if you make a song every day for 2 years straight. That 600 song that you made is going to be 10 times different than that first song. My fault. First song that you made.
Now I can't eat that.
You were going to eat that again? Ugh. Anyway.
I was going to put that back in my mouth. Now I can't.
It should have been sitting right there.
But you're talking about being versatile.
Yes,
like artists need to be versatile and
it's
have
understanding
all types
growth in your music and in your writing and in your song selection, your beat selection, just everything, your production. There's growth because our production wasn't there then. It is now though, I'll tell you that. But then our production wasn't there and our beats weren't there and our music just wasn't there. But we thought it was, but it wasn't. You know, but sometimes you need that humbling experience, and that's why it is important to go to events like this though, or like go anything that has any type of A&Rs going to them, you know, networking events, or even the TLC camp that I really got to talk to you about. But even like the camps, like how I went to the TL, they just had different executives in there, they had different A&Rs in there, they had people from different sources of in like business shit, you know, like the business side of music, those type of people in there, and they were just letting artists play their music. DJs came in, they brought me in with the podcast, all that type of shit. These are the things artists gotta take these opportunities, because I guarantee you there's executives in there telling these artists, I could hear them.
Like take for instance, when you're saying be humble, okay. Like me, I feel like I am a very humble individual, and me personally, I feel as if I look at things as it's trash in my mind until I go have somebody else listen to it, and then they give me their opinion. And I feel like that's the downside to it. Maybe I shouldn't have that mindset.
You're an artist. I didn't know this.
Barely.
No, yeah, I'm not really an artist. That's my thing. I'll do something. I'll think. Yeah, I'm creative.
She's a singer.
I will do something. I'll put something down. But in my mind, I'll be like, I'll hear every bad part of it, to the point that I don't like. I'll let Mont hear it and be like, Mont, let me tell. What's your opinion? And then if Mont be like, yeah, that's
if I
good.
tell her it sounds good, then she doesn't believe me.
I'm not gonna lie, Mont isn't good enough.
Earlier we were talking about manifestation, right? So when you're making your music, are you manifesting?
I'm not, and that's the problem. You're right about that. I'm glad that you said something about that, because I didn't think about that this entire time. Mont manifests everything. He really does. He might not even realize that he do it, but he do it.
I know. I just don't speak about it because what the.
And what I do is in my head.
I think that guys, y'all should start speaking about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, I don't want to get all. Make people feel all weird or anything, but
energy's a thing.
God and prayer, God, manifestation, all of it aligns, guys.
I feel like sometimes my downside is because I look at the negative aspect of it, the worst possible scenario,
then you
to the point that
exactly,
and that's why I'm not manifesting anything, because I'm preparing myself for the worst.
Oh no!
Instead of preparing for the best. You're right.
Yeah, I think. I mean, for me, especially as of lately, because y'all know I have my own relationship, my big guy up there. But I've one thing I've noticed is that every time I get into what we were talking about earlier, maybe a rut or whatever, or if I'm going through some type of hardship or something, there's always an opportunity that presents itself somewhere, some way, shape, or form, and it's always up to me to take the opportunity or to not take the opportunity, right? So, like, for instance, if I got a bill coming up and I'm short on cash, right? I'll be like, dang, I got like 3 days to pay this. 2 hours later, somebody will hit me up for a session. Now, at that point, that's the opportunity to go make the money that is presented to me. Now it's just up to me to actually go take that opportunity or tell that session to fuck off. You feel me? So one thing that I think is really important is, like, when things present themselves, to take it, or like, because if you're not taking the opportunities that present themselves, then they won't continue to present themselves, because whoever it is that you look up to or whatever you believe in, not going to keep presenting opportunities to somebody who ain't taking them.
I don't know.
So it's God. He gives us free will. One of my mentors shared that with me this week. She said, "Tam, God gives us free will." So what that means is, like you're saying, Monty, it's all in what you're doing and how we do it, and the choices that we make in order to manifest. So what I do want to share with you is, no matter what, and I'm just going to say this about myself, I have an invisible crown, right, that I wear. Sometimes it need to be straightened, right, but it's here. So in order, always have your crown on when you're producing anything, because you want to manifest it to be great.
I feel you.
Okay.
Most
And
definitely.
when somebody who's been doing
taking
this
it.
shit for 10 years tells you that you're fucking good at it, believe them.
I know, it's just different. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It comes from a female aspect, and I hate to say it, but sometimes
After the show,
certain
I'll
thi-
let you hear the song that we
certain-
did.
some
You're
things-
going to be like,
I know that
It's
what
like,
it is.
yeah, it's like sometimes things coming from a man, from and I'm not saying that I'm the baddest bitch on the earth. I'm not.
God.
But when you feel like that you might be an attractive individual, sometimes you
bitch,
feel
I don't
like
care what you look like.
Shut up, nigga. At the end of the
what you
day,
look like.
I feel like sometimes niggas will feed you bullshit.
Exactly. They don't pay attention.
Niggas will feed you bullshit just to do whatever, to get closer to whatever it is that they really want. And I feel like I know that for a fact you're genuine. Now I take what you say to heart, but before I did not, and that's why I didn't.
Can I share something
That's your own
with you?
fucking fault.
That's because things that are business shouldn't be aligned with that.
They shouldn't, and it's sad because so frequently they are.
You have to put your foot down. He'll tell you that's why they don't like Coco out here, because Coco don't play.
Shit.
Foot down about business. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you're not gonna play with me. I know I might look like this or whatever
Hey,
going
yo.
on. You're not coming in this door with any of that.
Yeah,
because
business and
I'm
pleasure
on
just-
the business.
The business and pleasure just really don't mix.
They don't.
You're learning that, Monty.
No, I mean, I've
you
been
learned it a long time.
I mean, yeah, I mean, how many I don't fuck anybody I work
Oh, you're a
hold
fucking
on.
liar.
Wait, hold on.
Why he lie like this? Like
You
he
gotta
just said
understand.
he
Wait,
had
hold on.
skills
But you
and
have to
got a hand
understand
job.
because this is like
hold
late
on.
night television. You feel me? This is
Okay.
mature
I didn't know
audience. Sorry, Bridget
This
the Gap
should
people.
be on my IG.
No.
Nice.
Forgive me, guys.
Or
I'm
Patreon.
sorry.
Okay.
Excuse me. I'll try to watch my mouth for the rest of the show. What? Nothing. What they said. Was,
Lo
I just.
siento.
I forgot where we were.
So basically, what he's saying is, I don't use my brand
Oh, yeah,
or
that
my
part.
business to advance on my secret
on my
pleasures.
my clients.
Yeah.
Now,
You know what I'm
Business
saying?
is
not to
business,
say that I
pleasure is
haven't had
pleasure.
clients press me. That's different. But I don't use my business or anything to try to lure anybody in to try to be like, oh well, I'm trying.
But
To, I don't do that.
it's a
and that's
tip-
why a lot of women are comfortable working.
It's a
with me.
tit for tat type of thing, because unfortunately that's what the industry has always been about.
Yeah,
And I
I
understand
definitely
why
understand that,
women
for sure.
feel the way they feel
Me too.
about going around certain dudes or
100%.
certain men with power.
And that's why.
Like, see, with
But
me,
that's why I make it a point to be respectful. I make it a point to like make sure that women are comfortable working in my studio and around me, because I understand that aspect of like, I know mad women. I've dealt with so many female artists, bro, who have been like, yeah,
I don't
but
even
dealing
think
with
your
this
mom would
producer.
allow
But
you to be a dickhead.
Nah, I just don't
wouldn't
do it.
matter. It wouldn't matter, because when you get the paper, it's nothing that she could say to really affect anything.
Nah.
But what I like about women in the industry, not like artists, but business women, they're more, like she said, standpoint.
sharks.
Like
I had like my management team back when I
fucks
was
with
doing
it.
everything. Shout out to Limelight. Shout out to Alexis and Stephanie. They could walk in a room full of dudes, and they were the lions. They were the tigers, the bears. And dudes would be like, dang, I can't shut her up. Dang, I can't get her to view my
See,
way.
but if you understood the aspect of a lioness, you would understand that really is what a lioness
No,
is.
and
she
I
really
know
do
it's not
come in
about
and
me
command.
understanding. I already understood it. It's just the fact that when you have those women in power, why do female artists feel like they gotta submit to the men in power? When sometimes you gotta switch your lane. Sometimes you gotta go with those women. Like I see what you talking about, bro. But I got sister over here that really know what she doing and really know how to shut you down. So I'm gonna go with her real quick. But females think about, I want an instant fame. I want to cut corners.
nah.
All
I
I gotta
feel you.
do is throw it back and do a little hot tour, and I can get there.
He used to the hawk tour.
That's you know what I'm saying. You if you
let's
really
be
want to
honest.
I
understand
mean, he
the
right
game.
though. He
100%
right. It's so
right.
sad.
Sexy Red got to the top without fucking.
A lot of women
is
are
100%
selling themselves short just to get a quick fame.
That's why I tell the female artists that deal with me, I ask that question all the time. Like, yo, I like your music. Or the females that we had on here. I like your music. I like your style. But what happens because I'm from poverty. I've never had this. I never had that. What happens when an executive that got that big name behind them and be like, look, shorty, you got the sound, but you ain't got the look. I need you to put that push-up bra on. I need you to show a little cheeks. I need you to show some thighs. I need you to be more seductive. Are you willing to change your image for a bag? And a lot of them do because they ain't never had it.
Okay,
they not used to it.
Like Billie
I
Eilish.
got too many morals.
Billie Eilish is definitely one that, like, before the fame, she was all like baggy clothes.
I don't know. Hold on.
that type of
I
shit.
think this is the thing, though. I really do feel like Billie Eilish, for one, she is a heavy-chested female. This is who she is
She's got
by
some
nature.
knockers.
She can't help that. So I feel like sometimes she dressed in baggy clothes just because she doesn't want to have that attention on her. But I do genuinely
She
feel like
did,
sometimes
but
listen, exactly. I feel like she does like the way that she looks. She personally loves the way that
I
she
didn't
looks.
say anything about that. at
Yeah,
all.
but
I
this is
didn't
what-
care about none of that.
but this
all I
is
was
my
saying
point.
was
I
before she
feel
was
like-
famous, it was baggy clothes, and now that she's famous, it's all lingerie. Type
but this
shit.
is the thing. I feel like before it was baggy clothes because of the. I feel like some artists may start off as they might not be as extrovert as you think they are. Like they might not be that person that's like, oh yeah, I want to be in the limelight and I want to. Yeah, exactly. Summer Walker is a prime example. I feel like
Chick I
Billie
just saw the
Eilish
other
is
day,
another one
new-
of them
new
for real.
artist.
For real.
She's got like newfound fame. She hates it.
Exactly.
I
It's
can't
like they
remember her
don't
name.
like
Some
all
white
of that
girl, she absolutely
attention.
hates it, yeah.
But at the end of the day, they do still like themselves in a certain aspect. And I feel like Billie Eilish, I feel like she probably wasn't even being who she really is in the very beginning because she was covering herself up to the point it's like, because I don't want this and I don't want that and I don't want this attention, I don't want that attention.
But I mean,
and
now
I
she
was like,
do.
fuck
see,
it.
the crazy-
Exactly.
but see, the
Because now
crazy
it's
thing
saying,
is,
fuck it.
she's done multiple interviews where she said that was just her style. She's young. The baggy clothes, the hoodies, and all that was their type of style. Now, what I would say is a woman that has faced those type of problems, and she's part of the black culture, black community, is Ari Lennox.
Ooh.
Ari Lennox
You
got
are
hit
so
with that
right.
wave. Was like, damn, you make beautiful music. You know what I'm saying? You make this, that, and the third. Yes, she's curvy. Yes, she has a body. But as soon as she did
She's
it,
weird.
as soon as she did it, they were picking.
that.
They were picking her flaws out so much she wasn't used to it. You know what I'm saying? First time somebody said she looked like a pit bull in the face, she was like, "Hold on, wait a minute. What's going on? I'm not used to that."
Yeah.
And that's because her team didn't have her
Prepare.
back and didn't have that. She didn't have that support to be like, "Hey, look, baby girl, you got it. Don't let these executives make you feel like what you doing ain't already great.
And I
you
feel like-
great." That's where her team supposed to step in and be like, "Hey, we got you." But her team was looking at the bag. The bag is what fails for artists. Y'all can't make great music because you're worried about the money. Music is supposed to inspire. It's supposed to help people go through their own traumas so you have a relationship with your fans or your supporters. Stop thinking about the money. The money's going to come if you love it. Because I guarantee, and I told everybody in here before, would you do what you do right now if it didn't come with no paper?
At the end
And a
of the
lot
day,
of them can't do it. They don't want to do it. So do you really love or understand what you're trying to do?
So even with what he's saying, and when Monty asked me, like, Tam, like, why have you been doing this long, or what makes you want to do it this long? It's because I do love it. I don't make a whole lot of money at this.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know if they thought I've been broke the whole mold with making money off this. It's not true. I pay 2 DJs. I pay security. Venue costs sometimes.
That costs money.
Promotional material.
That's what a lot of people don't understand.
You know, this is the behind the scenes part that people don't know when they're saying, "Oh, you're making money off of me." No, I'm making money to do my job.
Exactly.
I'm making money as an entrepreneur.
Yep.
So when I talk up to artists about, and I do need to get ready to do some type of workshop. I was talking to Monty about it. I try to explain to artists that they're just like entrepreneurs, right?
You do not make money like that in the beginning.
Well, when you first open a business, they say you don't make money the first 5 years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? So you have to think in that whole concept with yourself too. You're not going to make money in the first 5 years. And I'll never forget getting on the phone with Sonia Norwood. And I don't know if you all know who she is. You know who Sonia Norwood is, guys?
It's a familiar name.
Very familiar.
I don't know.
She is the manager to two of the most popular people you could know, which is Brandy and Ray J.
Oh,
Okay.
Their mom.
Yeah, duh, Norwood.
So
I knew I wasn't tripping.
she's one of the number one managers in the world.
Oh wow.
People don't say that, but look at her children.
Exactly.
She managed
She manages
them,
her own children.
right? So I had a chance to have a phone conversation with her, and I'm adamant that artists, independent artists, need to be like entrepreneurs. They need to learn in business, and she doesn't believe that. She believes what you said. That's why I was so into what you were saying, is that they should just be the creators, right? And that they should have a team of people that do all this. Now, here's Tamara in the background with the reality that now I've been working with artists for 8 years. Miss Norwood, the artists out here are not
Ain't
your
really-
children.
Yeah.
Like, they don't have the backing and you and all of this behind them. So the just I want to make good music can't just be that for independent artists. So I have had to figure out a way, and I'm gonna have to go on and say the name, to bridge the gap with this. Because I feel like that being an independent artist is being a business person. And I think that until you are signed or have some type of backing or an investor, you are independent, which means that you have to do the work of what a label would do, or what a manager would do, or what all those people in position would do.
So check it. I always tell artists about the independent route, right? Understand the business so you don't get screwed over. Because if a label, or we got sharks out here as managers, know that you naive and you gullible to this game, and they see that you starstruck and you don't know the business on the back end, yeah, that's when you need to really understand it. But at the same time, we live in that generation right now where independent artists are taking over. Because if you put in the work, we no longer need a big label with a bag to put behind it, because I could put $20 behind my music every
labels
week.
Labels are dying, bro. Labels are dying.
And do it. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to live on a scandal of, oh yeah, I pissed this label off so I can't put out no more music. Or they found another hot artist, so I got to write for that artist, so I'm putting on the shelf. So I understand that. And it's like a pro and a con. I would tell artists to know the business enough so you don't get screwed, but also have a team where they can take care of you. Because a manager, in my eyes, when you're just like, oh yeah, it's not your kids.
I have another
But at the
idea.
same time, as a manager, if
feel
you're
like-
always around that artist,
Well,
they
I
become
also
your
have a-
family. They
I also
become
have
your
another
kids at
idea.
one point.
This is true.
This is an idea that I was thinking of, right? So I was watching a Motown documentary not too long ago, right? About like how it was created and how it was ran, and their whole different section, and how they had fucking 2 blocks of just Motown. You feel me? A lot of the people were doing administrative work, but they were also artists themselves, right? So why not take 10 people? You find a good solid 10 people. You all want to make music? Great. Wonderful. You're on marketing. You're on branding. You're on design. You're on videos. You're on production. You're on this. You're on that. You're on. Now we have 10 people doing a whole job for everybody, right? And each person, of course, has their own job that they have to do for each individual person, but figure out a system of how to make it all work.
I mean,
as far as let me finish real quick. As far as, all right, so this month we're gonna do this artist. Everybody, we're gonna put our efforts into this artist this month. All right, we're gonna see how they do. Next month it's gonna be this artist. We're gonna focus on their projects, and it's just taking everything step by step. Now I'm not saying we're working on this artist and then we're releasing all their music this month. No, we're gonna work in the studio with this artist for this month. We're gonna create all the good music we can. Bam. Next month we're gonna now work on this artist, and while we're working on with this artist in the studio, this artist is now gonna go to the next step. All right, you guys are gonna work with this artist on branding their project or branding their songs or figuring out a marketing figuring out what songs are gonna be the hits. Just create you a team of multiple people who have the same goal, who want to do the same things, and everybody just have a job. Really dedicate your time to the job, and fucking really get it done. Like, this is what what is needed. Everybody wants to be the artist that's great, but
mean,
everybody needs to also do the work behind it.
I feel like this is why titles exist. Titles exist for that very reason. An artist is an artist because they are the ones to produce what? The art of it. They are to be the creative. You got the manager because they are the ones to manage all of those ins and outs. Hell, you got the events. You got different, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like, yes, everybody works together at the end of the day, but I feel like that's the importance of a team. And that's when you use discernment the most, for real, and having everybody to be on the same accord, if you get what I'm saying. Because it's like, people, I feel like sometimes jump, like you said, they jump too much for the bag. So they'll accumulate a team real fast because everybody's like, yeah, we want this money. So we all about to jump in on a team. And it's like the team is ass because you didn't think about that. All of y'all are you here, you there, and you there. It's like, how are y'all actually a team?
Well, first and foremost, we already have an example that it works. Actually, we had two examples. We had and we have. One was Nip. Nip had a team, had a focus, and it worked. Right now, we have Lil Russell. He shows you that I don't need outside sources. I can do everything with my family. I got my mama doing this. I got my daddy doing this. My cousin
Russ?
And some shit like that. Russ is kind of by himself though.
White?
No, Russ is by himself. If you really study what he does, he's by himself for real.
He does pretty much
You
everything.
know what I'm saying?
He does.
But I also
but he does have a team for everything that's outside of the creative aspect, though.
in a sense. But to piggyback off of what you said, the reason why those teams never work is because it comes with jealousy. People have to understand, and
everybody gotta understand their title.
Oh,
you gotta understand your position and understand that without me here, this is where I make the ball roll.
But you also have to realize when you're in that position, you're in that position. A person that makes your clothes ain't gonna get enough recognition as a manager or the artist themselves. A person that does distribution probably won't get their name put out like that.
I don't know. That's not true. I feel like that's based off of how much you put their name out.
Give me one. If you can give me one example,
how much you hold on.
Give me one example.
Because like, look, you'll have like local. I ain't even gonna say they're celebrities or anything. Like local people that'll make a post, and they post who they makeup artist, they designer. They'll post they make sure they tag all of these people in it. So I understand.
Now how many people do that?
So guys, I just want to share some things with some of the stuff you all are talking about. And
yes,
it's branding. Some of it still is, but Monty is right. Partially using artists is an issue because artists have a hard time really supporting another artist.
Damn right.
Okay? That right there. It is very, even though you can say it, y'all, until it's a certain level, even though they saying, yes, I support you, but over here, they want their music to be doing the same thing.
I do
but no, I'm with you. I want to say this because you've seen this happen with our label. Like, y'all, I've had experiences that are absolutely out of this world where exactly what Monty's talking about was what we were attempting to do. What I will say, Monty, is it takes more paperwork, more structure, more organization. Yep. All of those things are what I have learned from Bridging the Gap Youth Program. You understand what I'm saying? The nonprofit organization has allowed me to see you can bridge everybody to help grow each other's brands, but you have to have every single thing laid out on paper. And it has to be contracted, signed. People have to be upheld on what they signed. If they do not, then they need to be penalized. All of these things are things that a lot of times we don't like to do with each other in business. We don't like to hear somebody say, oh, you did not do this. Oh, you forgot to do that. These are normal things. So it makes a group like what you're talking about dismantle. But if you have real contracts, that's, I have to be transparent. I just recently done something. As long as I've been doing this, I just recently done something without a contract, and no more ever. That It was my learning lesson. I promised God, like, God, I won't do it anymore. I don't care how much I want to bridge with people and I want to help people and I need on black and white what it is that we're doing, what you say you're going to do, what I'm going to do for you in exchange.
Yep.
We haven't even really, I gave you a proposal though.
Yeah.
We didn't do a contract, but he has a proposal for me.
Yeah.
Because I just don't believe in doing it anymore. Because when you see things on black and white, it means
That's
a little
official.
bit different.
Yeah.
It mean business for real.
No, that's
say it
official
mean
at that
business.
point.
It mean
It's
business
more
for real.
than just our word.
Well, I just want to make this point because the person that we're having Sin on the podcast, the manager of the girls who came on a few
Stop
weeks ago.
playing.
Sin's gonna come on himself.
Okay, Sam.
And this group of people is just a prime example that this is possible. That it is possible to do this type of thing that I'm talking about because I'm watching them do it. I watched them throw the album release party for one artist and every artist on their thing was there. Everybody a part of their team was there. Everybody was supporting each other. And you know why? Because they know that at some point it's going to be their time. So they're okay with supporting one another and loving one another because they know at some point it will
gonna
be
support me
their
when it's my
time.
turn.
Exactly.
It's the
When
alignment.
it's learning
thank you,
it's learning how to
alignment.
how to
Everything.
celebrate everybody else
Everything.
because when you want to be celebrated, you want everybody else to be there. And I can guarantee you
Oh, really?
the real ones who you celebrate with will be there with you when you celebrate for yourself. And the fake ones won't be, but they won't even make it to that point.
Just
So
look
it
at
doesn't
it.
matter.
And I respect that. And I respect that. But it also comes with reality. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in Destiny's Child loved each other in the beginning.
They definitely
Until
did.
somebody said
100%.
it's Queen Bee and the other two.
No, 100%.
In the
100%.
beginning, you know what I'm saying?
See,
Everybody
but
everybody
hold on,
loves
but
that
that's
shit
the
in the
thing.
beginning.
That's the thing. That's insecurity.
Well,
That's
what about-
jealousy.
all right,
That's
so let's
no,
look-
no. That's an insecurity because at the end of the day, Kelly and Michelle stuck around because of what? They were solid in themselves. They didn't care what you said about B because they know that they hold this in. I know that I can hold this down. I know that I can hold this down. B might go off and be solo. That's what she want to do. If I want to go off and be solo, that's what I'm going to do. The rest of them didn't last.
that
simply
goes back
because-
to that
you might wanna
invisible crown.
I think you-
Exactly,
I think
that
you-
invisible crown that you were talking about. That's exactly what that is.
I think you might
because
wanna
the rest
study
of them
what
did
happened
not
with that.
last. What you mean? Because the rest of them did not last simply because of jealousy. If we're being honest,
I think you want to. Just for your standpoint, I love what you're saying, but you might want to study that whole thing.
what is it that I need to study?
That whole Destiny's Child.
What
thing
is it that I need to study?
Came with a whole lot of underplay, and you said you've been in the industries and you know underplay.
I mean,
What do you mean?
And wait a minute, what he's talking about?
and
Because
she
I'm
laughed
trying.
because she
He's not
knows.
specifying nothing. I'm trying to
but
understand what he's
talking
saying.
about is
He
they
really
did
just
have
reiterated what he just
their
said.
He
jealousy.
did.
They did have some of their. They did.
Yes, they did. I'm not saying that they didn't. This is why I
but-
said Kelly and Michelle.
But I believe. Even Kelly, you know, they had their times, I believe.
But she also had that crown.
I believe
still.
they had their crowns on strong enough to the point where they were able that what you all are tapping into to me, and I say this these days, is mental health. You're tapping into our mental health.
I
about
genuinely
things.
feel like
You know what I'm
jealousy
saying?
is human nature. A lot of things that we have is human nature.
I believe the level of jealousy.
Yes, a level of jealousy
Believe
is human
to
nature.
me, a level of jealousy.
You're right.
is
A certain level is human nature. Once it gets to a certain extent, you're
not
right.
supposed to envy.
Thank you. You're not supposed to envy. Don't envy the next person. You're right. I mean, even if you look at them as, you know what? That's what I was saying a couple of shows ago. It's like, you know, even if it's like you see what they're doing and you want to be where they are, well, what did you do to get there? That's when you start to inquire. That's how you separate envy from admiration.
I ain't gonna lie. Like, my position right now, right? I'm totally in the background of everything that's going on right now. Don't nobody know my face. Don't nobody know I even have parts of what's going on, right? But, like...
People know your name.
I know that me riding along with this whole thing is going to help me get to another level. And I also did all the business right on this thing.
That's right.
And so we're going to be getting our royalty checks pretty soon. You feel
That's
me?
right.
So Yeah, we sat down for
And
hours.
that's the payment you want.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? Like you got to. That's a mental health thing to shift that.
And it's also understanding like what we were talking about earlier is that sometimes it's not about the money up front because we have the option to get bought out, which we would have probably only made like fucking $2,500 from the song. They told us they didn't want to buy it and they're gonna let us just keep the royalties. Perfect. Because once that shit starts going up in streams, boy, we gonna get money. We gonna get a lot of money. Not a lot, but we're gonna get something. We're gonna get something from it, point being. But it's like sometimes it's okay to ride the coattail and just be a part of the process. Because I'm not the star in this whole situation. I'm in the background. But shit, I'm following, supporting, and I am riding with my star till they get them tag team championships. And even when they lose it, I'm still gonna ride with them because they gave me an opportunity. So this is the part that you guys have to really understand is when an opportunity is presented to you, there might not be money right there and then. You might not feel like it's the best opportunity in the world, but one, you never know unless you try. And two, if you really like are that stuck up your own ass that you have that big of an ego of like, oh, I don't need this, then come on, bro. You're not going to get far. Like just use everything that is around you to your benefit, whether it's selfish or not. Like just take opportunities is all I'm saying. It's okay to ride the coattail sometimes and just kind of wait until it's your time to.
I had to come up with a name better than ride the coattail, which is Bridging.
Shout out Ty Lee, I see you,
Bridging
my
the
boy.
gap.
Which is Bridging the Gap.
Ty Lee Smith in the chat, the boy on Flex on him.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, my boy.
Flex on him, come on.
The man, the myth, the man who got us the opportunity. That's my boy.
Congratulations! I had a chance to see it too.
Yeah, as you were saying.
I think. Monty, what I was saying was I had to come up with a different name other than ride the coattail.
Yeah, because that's a bad thing to say about it.
Yeah, I mean, that's not wrong with it. I know what that means, but I remember Bridging the Gap and figuring out, like, Tam, this is what you've been doing this entire time. You've been bridging gaps, and I had to understand of being a vessel. And when you're a vessel, you don't take personally. Because at first, I used to take personally the efforts and the energy and all the time and money and opportunity that I put into artists. And to turn around and hear how they would speak about me or how they would treat me, how disrespectful they would be, not understanding how much energy another person is putting into another human being. Mm-hmm. Like I used to say all the time, like, you all are not my children. I have 2 children, but the effort and the push and the opportunities that I would risk, and I would say risk my life, my money, in order to do this for other people. And then they turn around and just kind of like
shit on you.
Pretty much, you know what I'm saying? Not have your back, not tell people what you've done for them. I think that when I say resume, that's how we make money. Yeah. By you telling the next person, hey, she did get my song on the radio.
Because word of mouth is the biggest.
Yeah, she did promote me. Oh, that did help me gain exposure. Oh, I did make money off tickets. I never really made money at a show before until I messed with Coco. If you could sell more than 10 tickets, you can make a lot of money. And that's really what it's about. I always told people, all the national artists we booked, we did not book them because we liked them. We booked them because they could put butts in the seat. Mm-hmm. It's very simple. So if you're looking to be booked, because I hear that a lot from artists now.
Booked and busy.
I heard that, and it's no way possible everybody can be booked.
No, for real.
Not enough opportunities. I had to figure that out. I was like, y'all, I don't know. I don't know if it is all making sense. Remember when I was talking to you about how I think? Mm-hmm. Things have to make sense.
Yeah.
I remember being asked many, many times, Coco, can you manage me? Can you manage me? And at one point, some of the stuff that I was doing is management, right? But I went and looked at how a manager is paid. A manager is paid off of the percentage of what an artist earns. It does not come from an imaginary label that the manager's just running around with a unlimited budget that they could just do all these things. Who is paying them over here?
Yeah.
Someone has to. So I fully got away from that. I said, guys, you know, like, Coco will help you grow your brand, but I cannot manage you, because what am I managing?
Yeah.
I have to manage something that's going to make money. And if it's not making money, then what I'm saying I am is not a true thing.
Exactly.
And look, and she being
not lying.
she being nice with it, because a lot of y'all, man, like, y'all might got the team, y'all might got the groupies, the supporters, your friends and family. A lot of y'all ain't got it.
Fat girls that be
Y'all post. Y'all might post once or twice a week or once or twice a month. Like, y'all really not doing anything. Nobody's coming to search for y'all. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I be telling artists to come on the show, like, look, you ain't what you think you are. And if you was, then you would show it. I could tell by your body language, how you speak, how you talk about yourself, that you know you not like that. You know what I'm saying?
All I'm saying is I've dealt with some motherfuckers, bro. If you can't even tell me the three top things you need as an artist, as far as like the business, you can't tell me the top 3 things you need to be signed up for, registered for, whatever, as an artist, and you're trying to get paid for anything you're doing, I'm not paying you for shit. One, like, I'm not paying you for a feature. I'm not paying you to be on my show. None of that shit. No, you can pay because you're now a liability to me. You don't know what the fuck you're doing. Like, it annoys me because, like, one, BMI, Sound Exchange, Song Trust. 3 things you need. Top 3 things you need. If you're not on all 3 of those things, you're fucking dumb at this point. And I wasn't on for a long time, but I got on, so I'm good now. Now I'm not dumb anymore. But point being,
Right?
is if you don't even know what these things are,
So long.
I'm gonna say them again. BMI, Sound Exchange, Song Trust. If you don't know what these things are, then you shouldn't even be thinking about getting paid for anything, because you don't even know how to pay yourself from your own streams and your own music or
Your own
anything
work you did.
from your own work. So if you don't know how to pay yourself, why do you expect somebody else to pay you?
But Monty, that stems back to entrepreneurship.
Exactly.
So when I'm thinking that talent should think of theirself in an entrepreneur form, they really should. Because you're investing in your business and your brand.
I stole a book from Monty that I don't know if he realized that
And
he
you never
hasn't
read.
gotten back yet.
No, I realized. Just
Oh,
me.
okay.
I just know that you
Yeah.
haven't.
Well,
read.
I'm glad that he has these books. I'll tell y'all a quick story. I was putting an independent artists on the radio. I just thought I was doing my thing, Coco doing her thing. And I found out how many of the artists I had put on the radio didn't have their music license.
Not embarrassing that is.
Very
Wait, what happened?
very
A lot of artists, put
embarrassing
on the radio didn't even have it light or have
for
it
Coco.
Oh, dang.
I was new. I was like, yes, I'm doing
It
it.
feel good.
That
Yes,
sounds good. Let's
I'm
do it.
helping
putting
it.
my people on.
And yes,
Yeah.
and then 8 out of 50 only had their license.
Ooh.
So I had to regroup this whole thing in my brain as a person. What am I investing in? What am I spending my money on? These people don't even have their stuff right for what I'm trying to do for them in the end.
I tell artists all the time, like, when I put their episode on YouTube or Spotify or Apple Music or anything like that, if I don't get hit with a copyright, I already know you weren't ready for that episode. Like, soon as they hit and I don't get that, oh, copyright is issued, that means none of your stuff was licensed, none of your stuff was ready.
Yes.
So it's like a pro and a con. Like me, I don't want to get a strike on the platforms that I'm
On your
uploading you on.
business.
But at the same time, it makes me feel good. But okay, yeah, you solidified. Okay, hey, look, I just got hit with it. Fix that real quick. It made me feel good that I can hit you up and say that, because a lot of them don't have it. Some have it, some don't.
Well, being with the label, and I would watch my label head, artists tell him, oh no, everything's good. Everything's right. And then he upload that song and this red line come up. Or they look at the money that he's making and then look at why they're not making money. And that was a big learning lesson for me too, because being able to see that even while we're still helping you be a label or be a manager, you still gonna come and not tell the truth to someone who's spending their time and their money
to elevate you,
to help
yeah.
to elevate. Like, these have been the building blocks, I'm gonna be honest, guys, that has shaped me lately, and it's shaping a lot of people in the music industry. Like, artists, you know, really need to get ready to wake up, because I get it. Talent, I've been paying attention to this. I think that people are very talented, and I think that when they don't get opportunity, it does mess with their mental health. You're going to keep hearing me say mental health, okay? Because mental health is very important right now. And the energy and a lot of the things that you all are feeling comes from people's mental health. So what I believe is, with talent, when they're not able to get it out, right, and people love them and cheering for them, and, you know, that becomes a strain. It becomes a mental situation where, oh, I'm not liked. Or even, you know, with starting to create and already thinking ahead of time that it's not right.
Right.
I think that we need to be a little bit more observant just of you know, ourselves and our thinking, and how we're thinking about each other, how we can bridge more with each other, be a little bit more appreciative of what people are doing and bringing to you. Like, my blood pressure been up so high, but I'm so thankful for Monty for wanting to help me. I prayed and asked God, I wanted to come out of the clubs with the Spotlight Showcase, and I wanted to do something different. I told God, Monty, put it up. Hey, I'm doing podcast. Somebody come on. First thing, I was like, man, I called him and I was like, look, this is what I want to do. This is how I want to do it. And
Driving home from work.
I absolutely love him. So even with not feeling well, even changing the date, because we had to change the date because I just not feeling well, guys. And I'm not gonna lie, some of this business has given me hypertension.
I'm pretty sure.
And if I can't make it smooth, the Spotlight Showcase transitioning into the podcast, then I'm gonna probably have to let it go eventually. I want someone to want to do it still. You know, like, because it's a part, I believe it's a part of the culture for the music scene, but because we don't have a real culture here, it's not recognized that way. So I've been holding on, just waiting, you know, for us to realize what we really have. It's so much talent in VA.
So much.
Oh my God, guys.
Yeah.
And I believe the industry knows that it's a lot of talent here, but I can say over the years, I've heard their outlook of how our scene is here. So I would encourage us to bridge the gap a little bit more, right? And maybe show the industry what we really could have here and make them come here to see the talent. Like Monty showed an example of what potentially our show will look like. It looks so clean and classy and crisp and, you know, like ready for the world, you know? Well, we need to be able to feel that about each other's work. And we need to be able to see that, hey, Tam just holding on, Coco, just holding on to the Spotlight Showcase and giving this opportunity. She's doing her part. Monty, bridging to give me the studio to be able to do the Spotlight Showcase. He's bridging. You know, like, we need to be able to see the value that different people are bringing to the industry of what we have here in Virginia. So I thank y'all for the interview. it's been absolutely awesome.
Oh yeah,
No,
yeah. We got
really.
about 20 minutes left, and then
Oh, we do.
yep.
that's
We go 90 minutes. 90 minutes. We got about 20 left.
Now,
Huh?
I will say, I respect everything that you were saying tonight, and I always have a tit for tat or necessarily an open opinion about the 757 scene because it is talented, and it is warranted that everybody should work together or bridge together. It's one of my biggest things I always tell people. It's like, okay, look, you at the chicken spot, you at the Nova, you at the Pavilion, you're doing this, you're doing that. Every day is a show, it's a showcase. Every day there's a talent going on. I seen homie, I don't even know him from a can of paint, but I seen the design he had, Virginia's Got Talent. You know what I'm saying? That's its own entity. You know what I'm saying? You got Work Hard, Play Hard. You got A-Team out here. You got a lot of people out here. You got a Millie. She doing her own thing. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of people that's out here doing it. I think the 757, one of the reasons why industries don't necessarily be like, okay, yeah, I'm going to run this city. I'm going to come in this city is because we're all over the place. Like you can, an artist from out of town, there's no excuses for you not to be in somebody's club, some type of building, networking with somebody because I know for a fact I run a show Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, and on those shows I get tickets to all these events, but I can't make them because I'm doing my own thing. Right. But I got one in Norfolk, I got one in Hampton, I got one in Chesapeake, I got another one in Virginia Beach. 757 is known to have everything. You just got to find your own niche, and you got to find your own opportunity to network with the right people. But I think that's probably, it's a pro and a con with the 757. Like,
but kind of what you just said a second ago is kind of a prime example of where a lot of the issue lays is I get tickets for this, I get tickets for this. I can't go because I got my own thing going on. Now that's a key thing that we have to pay a very close attention to because this is where it's happening everywhere is because I've gotten tickets for things too, but I have my own things going on. We all have our own separate things going on that we don't have time for the other events or we don't have time to go out. Now I'm not saying this for you. No, I'm not
you speaking truth.
But this
right
this is what I have noticed even for myself. Like we don't have the time to go support these events when a lot of times we probably do. It's just we just don't go.
It needs to be organized.
So that's my point being is that there's so many people, like you said, out doing our own separate things.
We're not
that
bridging.
We need to bridge together now. Like it's time for all of these separate entities to start coming together. Because I know a whole bunch of people over there and over there and over there doing shit and over there doing shit.
But how would you?
I'm gonna tell you real quick how. And I've designed it because I have a concept of people coming from out of town, not necessarily in town. Because in town, they already have a stigma a lot of times on each other's shows. But from out of town, for me, I want to know where other people's shows are because it's called a promo tour. See, I build a promo tour for an artist that comes to town here from out of town because I do have the Spotlight Showcase at the end on Monday. So if you come to town here on Thursday, I want to know everything that's going on. Because I'm going to build a promo tour. I don't care who it is. It could be A. Millie. It could be this person over here, Playground. I don't care. As long as it, whatever the thing say it's going to do, does. Or gives what it said is going to give. Because over here at the end, on Monday, when they come to do the Spotlight Showcase, you better believe that I'm going to have the person that's supposed to be in the building to give them what they say. That's one of my biggest things about all the shows, right? I believe that shows should bring value. Whether it's content, whether it's an opportunity, whether it's money, whether it's label opportunity, whatever it is, I think it should be some type of opportunity. I even shared that with artists going out of town. Like, if you're going to do the show, please make sure whatever they said they gonna do, they do. That's the one thing he'll tell you. I'll break my neck in half to do what I said I'm going to do. And that part,
I give you that.
I believe that we should I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say this and that, because it's so many different people doing showcases now. But it used to be at one point, it was only 3 females that were really stamped to really be doing shows. It was A. Millie, Lady A, and me. I was on the other side of the water. A part of what I seen in the scene is a lot of different people start doing shows, right? Things got a little bit more watered down, I'm gonna say, because it's so many different, like he's saying, so many different shows. What I believe is we need to just figure out the valuable shows that will be beneficial to an artist, where they can gain. Not to say the other ones are not important, but when you're trying to build to gain exposure, or whatever the things you're trying to build, if I put my management hat on, well, I'm going to find the best shows for my artists to gain the best opportunities, not just run around and do a bunch of shows.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think that when we're talking about what we could build to bring together for artists that could help them, is building a valuable promo tour for artists where they can gain and find the best opportunities for the artists. I know we all think what we doing the best, but it's levels in business, period, with a dot on the end. And that's just it. And I only say that because it come from resume.
It is, but it ain't. And I say that because there's no showing to you, because I've been to your showcase before.
And not
you know what I'm saying?
Showcase.
No.
I'm talking about levels in all the
business, and I understand
in
that.
Entertainment business as a whole.
And I understand that. But facing the artists that I've come a part of, that's been to multiple events, that've been to a lot of showcases, that've been to these things, the reason why people branch out and they do their own things is because the grievances and the gripes, and not saying that you're just like, oh, I couldn't have my way, so it's just not like that. It's because certain events cater to certain people. And that's a known fact. I can bring literally 100 people in here that would say that, because I've interviewed them and I said it, and I was like, yeah, because doing these interviews and stuff like that, I'd be like, yo, what's wrong with the 757? What's wrong with this and that? And they would say the same. All of them would say the same thing. People pick and choose who they want to deal with, so that's why they branch out and do their own thing. Now, yes, I would love it to be one main source of where you have Hampton Newport News and Smithfield on this side, and you have Norfolk, Virginia Beach on this side and stuff like that. I would love to have 3 main sets. That would be dope to have. But at the same time, it's the big players. It's the big players that need to talk to each other and figure out why people are doing their own thing. That to me personally, that's why things don't work.
Do you know why people pick and choose, though? You say that people pick and choose who they want to work with. You know why? Because most of these people ain't worth working with. That's why. They're not valuable.
Because it's bad business.
They bring absolutely no. It's because
bad
most of these artists out here bring absolutely nothing to anybody's table besides making shitty music that they feel like they're the best on top.
You've always had your own basic opinion about certain artists. There's people out here,
and I agree, and I can understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying.
You gonna love. If you gonna hate, you gonna hate.
At the end of the day, you do realize that picking and choosing is everywhere, right?
Well, I wanna talk about what he's talking about.
It's not just Virginia. It's
I want
everywhere.
to talk about what you just said for the reason on why artists do their own shows. You're right. It is some shows that are like that, but nah, not all shows are that way. Artists make up something in their mind, right?
That part.
Where
Say that.
is nothing wrong with, because a part of my blueprint is to teach you to do your own shows. Because guess what? That's the only way you're going to make money.
Exactly.
Okay? But it doesn't mean cut out the people that do the business they do.
Yeah.
See, that's the disrespect. And I'm going to say this. My show is not like that. That's why I put a personality in the building. Coco not picking nobody. Mm-hmm. This is why you have a person that's biased away from me, that's there, that's going to pick. And that's real business.
Yeah.
But guess what? In this market, real business don't mean nothing.
Of course not. I'm gonna be honest. Real anything
doesn't.
don't mean anything.
It
anymore.
doesn't.
It don't.
So over time,
It's just a lot of sensitive artists. I mean, if you ask me, but
it's a lot of sensitive people. Period.
like,
Exactly.
I mean, but just to me personally,
Back to
bro.
mental health.
I mean, you've known me for years at this point, Ed, and you see the people I've been through, the things that I've dealt with, the different people that I've tried to do business with, partnered with, this, that, and the other. Some people just aren't built for this shit. So a lot of the artists who are feeling ways that they're feeling, and even a lot of the guys, I've seen a lot of your interviews, I could tell a lot of these artists make some shitty fucking music. No,
Damn.
no
You
offense.
see how he just
But
came
like,
out?
Now you got to put names
My
with it.
Facebook
You gotta-
is
you gotta-
live
hold on, no,
and
no, no, no,
still
no. You've
on.
interviewed-
No.
haven't-
Hold on, no.
You guys can know that your music
What you, hold on, no, what you gotta do is, and I've told artists before when they come on the show and they say things like that, don't hide behind a camera and say, oh yeah, it's a lot of artists that do that. Put names behind it.
I don't know the names of any of the fuckers who've been on your shit. I
Stop
don't know.
cussing.
You can't say that they
You
was
gotta stop
trash.
cussing.
No,
can't-
I said,
you really do,
I
but-
said they probably are trash. I didn't say they were. I said they
But-
probably are.
Okay, so we are in the entertainment business,
Okay.
right? You have your grievances and grievances with the 757.
Okay.
You ain't even tapped into the 540, the 804,
100%.
the 916.
Do me a
100%.
favor real fast. Define grievances.
grievances, whatever. Y'all already know I got a list, but you understand what I'm saying. Like,
Okay, I'm sorry.
like
Sit down.
if a person has a way about a certain area, whatever like that, like you do, and I know that's how you feel, but they really not tapped into everything, and they not really open. And you had bad experience in this area let's be honest. There's over 2,000 artists in the 757.
More than
Probably
that.
more than that.
Probably,
Oh, what?
I'm just saying on a
Probably
general.
far more than that.
But you
I've
probably only
myself
tapped
recorded
in.
well over 1,000 artists myself.
But
And
exactly.
I've seen over 5,000.
But I'm just saying,
or more.
people take those bad experiences, and they're just like, man, I don't want to deal with these people. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. And it's just like, bro, that's the whole beauty about the entertainment world, bro.
100%.
You're gonna have your goods, you're gonna have your bads, but you gotta accept it. Otherwise, this ain't for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been to Texas, I've been to Atlanta, I've been to New York, I've been to these places, and yeah, it's trash people. And I'll be like, man, I got some people in Virginia and 540 that do better than this, and they come from a small city. But I'm very open to everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I can't necessarily go out here and say, oh yeah, it's a bunch of trash artists. Nah, I'm gonna speak on it. So and so needs to work on this. So and so needs to. That is where
I 100% agree.
Well, I don't think it
people
should
get
be
pissed off
done.
by that.
I don't
People
think it
get
should be
pissed off.
done like that. I think it should be done with some structure, like
Yeah,
a
if I'm-
review
Exactly.
with someone that's. And I'm not saying everyone here is not of value. You know what I'm saying? But I think that someone that can help give them an opportunity.
Yeah, somebody that got some credentials to them.
Right. Someone that can give them an opportunity and, not just saying they have bad music.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of times talent has a lot of different things that have been put in front of them that makes them believe that what they have is good.
Because he said, this is the same person that said, Sexy Red trash. But guess
Yes.
what? Sexy Red got albums. She got gold albums.
Hey.
She got singles out here that's playing on the radio.
She
She
catchy.
making that bag.
She has the blueprint
So
behind
she
her.
does.
How can you tell a person that they trash and they doing better than you?
She has that.
can't.
No, wait a minute. You can recognize the business blueprint. Doesn't mean their
the
music.
artistry
Hold on,
itself.
doesn't mean their music is good.
There we go.
You can recognize the business
There we
blueprint
go.
being put behind someone.
And the
If
artistry
you know
itself
the
is
blueprint,
ass.
you can recognize that.
Okay, but I understand that.
Right.
But at the same time, their credentials got to count for something
Now,
as well.
don't get it twisted. The new song,
No.
the boyfriend song, the new boyfriend
What
song.
new
What is
boyfriend
it
song?
called? I love my. What is it? I love my boyfriend or something. I
Oh.
can't even see. It must not be that
Oh, damn.
because I can't even remember
Exactly.
the name, the words to it.
That's the
But
point. It be catchy when it hits.
She,
It's catchy when it
But
hits.
if you, hold on now.
it is because I can't
It's
remember the
catchy
words.
only when it hit. It really
But
is.
That's the thing about the music. And I used to be like them. I used to be like them and be like, oh, this shit was trash. But at the same time, it's just like I can take that song, go. We in Portsmouth right now, but I can go to Norfolk or something like that. Go to a certain spot in Norfolk, and everybody in there be like, yo, you don't know this? Like, you lame as fuck. You don't know.
Yeah, but
what you
also
got.
look at the demographic you're in, and look at the level
That's
of
the
intelligence
purpose.
of the people in these.
That's
Hold
their
on,
target
stop
audience.
insulting people's intelligence because
I'm
they
not-
like a
I'm
beat.
Just, no,
Because
no,
that's
I'm
You're
just
right,
saying.
'cause the
now.
beat is
Because
whatever-
guess what? I didn't got it in
No,
my.
but there are
Thank
two-
you,
no.
you my everything.
Oh, that's the
whole-
Right, it's the beat. Thank you.
I'm 49
I've
years
been saying
old.
for at least the past
I'm
4 to
49,
5 years,
and
this
I
is the
can't-
age of
I
the
can't-
producer. This is the age of the producer.
I can't tell you that beat.
I really
the
feel like
beat.
this
I'm
is the
sorry.
age
I
of
am
the
sorry
producer.
for
The
anybody who
artist
doesn't
doesn't
want to hear
matter
this shit, bro.
anymore.
I'm sorry for anybody who doesn't want to hear this, but there's intellectual levels to listening to music. If you
is.
can't comprehend, like, complex music, then you're not going to listen to it. But if you can only comprehend the shit that's like that, then that's what you're
But
Well,
gonna be
that's
accustomed to
not
listening.
everybody. I can do both, bro.
Complex,
No, and I'm-
but that's
but I'm
the
just
thing.
saying
Complex
that some
music
people-
That's
is
the
not
whole thing.
mainstream.
Some
See,
people
when a
can't
person,
comprehend
when a
complex
person,
music.
you know,
They just can't.
Well, you can do both.
when
then
you can do
got all
both, then
aspects.
you're good.
You can
Hey,
do
no,
both.
no,
You can
for
do
real.
both.
I'm
Now,
not saying
what
you
I
can't
want to
do both.
say
I'm saying you
on
can't.
top of this, what y'all are saying, young people can't do both,
They can't.
and
I don't know.
that is my issue with the music.
For
They
me, listening
can't.
to
Is
people like
that
Sexy
young
Red, I feel
people can't
stupid.
do both.
I feel like I'm dumbed down listening to a lot of this shit. If I can't understand what you're saying in the music, I feel like I'm being dumbed down listening to it. I don't want to hear it. That's
I
just
mean,
me
you
personally.
can take it. You can take it all the way back.
Like I said
you can take it all the
earlier.
way back to blues. Back in the day when you had Muddy Waters and you had people like that,
Yeah.
and that jive, and
Right.
the church people was like, "Oh, that's devil music." That's what. Come
Yeah.
on, it's the same concept. It's just different generations.
No,
I'm not saying it's devil music. I'm just saying I don't like it.
Hold on.
That's it.
No,
I just
it's
don't
not
like
the
it.
same concept.
Yes,
I don't feel like it's. I feel like
It's not with the lip gloss.
Thank you.
I
We are
can't.
too.
They
They're too
can't.
provocative nowadays.
Not
There
with
is
the
no
lip gloss.
They had a.
You
They
40
had a
Hold on.
sense of
The-
no.
not the lip gloss.
They
So,
had
hold on.
a sense of
I don't want it.
classiness to
Hold on.
them. They were not. They were not just outright, just straight funky.
No,
freaking
Cole
raunchy.
Brown?
Stop.
They weren't. Thank
I
you.
wasn't gonna say it. I told you we on our
Better
live.
yet, think about
We're
it.
on live
As children, as 90s babies ourselves, a lot of the songs that we think about that we were singing back in the days.
I was singing
we
Cisco,
didn't-
the thong song. I
Pause,
didn't
hold
know what
on.
songs were.
Yes, that
Let's stop-
song.
let's
That
stop playing.
song. That
Oh,
song in
good.
particular.
Then-
But it was a lot more
Hold on.
songs that were so inconspicuous. that we were singing the lyrics to that we didn't even
Hey, look,
understand.
I'm
simply
okay.
because
So you're young and you don't understand music.
Now,
so you
but-
said
now
49,
it's
right?
just out there.
All right, hold up.
Okay,
All
but
right,
let me say this: parental
I can-
guidance. Parental guidance used to be on the music too. That little
Thank
white
you.
thing.
It did.
Remember?
and it made it more attractive to listen to it because you're like, oh, I'm not supposed
But I
to.
mean,
I
it
know
was
this
there
parental
though, and
guidance,
so they
like-
did
because
things.
because the thing is, what bothers me about people and not understanding, like you said, they know both music and both sides of music and they know how to understand it. You might say right now that the Glorrillas, the Sexy Reds, and stuff
I
like
love
that.
Glorilla.
But I'm just saying.
Hold up.
I do
I
too.
fuck with Glorilla.
Hold on.
Wait. Because no, I got a
95
clip of you saying you
degrees.
didn't mess with.
I ain't got no
Bro,
nigga.
you also don't have the. You also have a clip of me saying, you know what? I've grown on the Glorilla. Go back. Come on,
Okay,
bro. Pay attention.
So, anyways, like I was saying, you said 49, right?
You keep calling out my age.
No,
Right on now.
Because I'm about to take it. I'm about to
You
take
said it like
I'm
6
30, right?
times.
Exactly.
She don't look like a
Okay,
goddamn
come on, go
It's
ahead.
not- I'm just talking about generation wise.
All right, go ahead.
The Foxy Browns and Lil Kims, were they not talking that nasty? Come on now, were they not talking about that nasty?
Was it popular,
Did,
though?
but it still
How
won't.
popular?
It's a certain level. Grammar
still
is
was
everything.
different.
Look, all right.
Words are
Like,
everything.
thank
Wait a
you.
minute. Hold on.
Because you think you be knowing everything
Hold on.
and you be
'Cause
wrong
we
90%
might
of the
be
time.
studying. We might
Hold on,
need to.
Coco,
Wait a minute,
I got
we
a-
might need to
I
bring the
have a
song
prime
out
example.
eventually.
I have a prime
Because I
example,
like
Coco.
I like to do something called dissecting songs.
There we go.
It's a part of what
I have
Bridging
a
the Gap
prime
does.
example. You remember when we had a guest up here and we were talking about how men don't like the word weak and how you have to go the aspect of explaining, oh yeah, you're just falling short in this aspect and just to say that yeah, you're weak here. But I had to put it a different way in order for it to go smoothly for that man, simply because if I said weak, then it would have been offensive. It's the same thing with lyrics.
No, it's not.
It definitely
It's
is.
definitely
If you're
not.
just coming out blatantly saying, "Yeah, I'm eating your ass,"
You are.
versus, "Oh, I'm sensually just like caressing you," and you don't.
lying.
I'm sorry,
Thank
Mama,
you.
you were reaching out
Words
your
mean
ass.
a lot.
Yeah, I understand what she's saying. Like,
Words mean a lot.
music
It
back
is.
then was just way different than now. They literally
is.
just talking about
It
he eat my
was.
ass, put my on
Hold
his
on.
face. Yeah, all that.
Yeah, now it's
So-
just
It's
straight
no
to the
love.
point
It's
versus
no. Basically, us older people, we be saying, and I, I am 49. Even though I had that other stuff, I had this over here too.
yeah.
And we
See, I didn't have. No, you don't.
we don't have
have
the
that.
You
best
don't
of both worlds.
do
no
not.
more.
We don't have Jacob Banks. We don't have Sam Smiths. We don't have. Come on now. Let's,
mu-
let's,
how
No,
much-
these are not what they.
How much of that do you
The
hear
The young
on the
people
radio?
are not.
Because you keep naming names that are not super popular names. They're popular to you because you listen to their music. I don't know if they are.
The young people are not listening to
Thank
them.
you.
So when we talk about their love music,
Holy
what
shit.
does their love music sound like?
Either heartbreak
Can you
or just
tell
being a
me?
hoe.
Can you tell me? Because Drake, because I actually studied and seen a documentary where Drake's music is all about being low energy.
It's either heartbreak or hoe.
That's what his music.
It really
and they saying,
is.
even Taylor Swift. They're saying Taylor Swift has
Heartbreak
some
or
type of
hoe.
energy in her music.
Heartbreak or hoe. It's
And
really
this has been a
Odd wave.
blueprint.
only way it go. Heartbreak
And
or
these
hoe.
two are your number one talents at one point.
I mean,
Right?
they still kind of are. If you think of
They
Drake,
really
I mean, I'm
Taylor
just
Swift,
saying.
Come on, they on the top.
Heartbreak
So,
or hoe is only
What
two
we're
ways to
saying
go.
is, I've been waiting for a nice love song from the young people. I can say,
see, that's what I'm.
I don't know. It's a song by this guy named Rollo that I like.
Really?
Okay.
You know, it's called and I'm not calling that a love song, but at least it
It's close enough.
is trying
Right.
a little bit.
Y'all like listen to Honcho.
It's
and,
trying.
like that's just like
It's
Asia said.
trying.
I look up to Honcho and shit like that. Like, bro,
Oh
what?
God! Why?
That was
Right.
just my personal.
Exactly what you just said. That's your
was
personal
no.
preference.
No. That shed
That
light on
song.
exactly what she was saying. What you just said is, oh, they said that I look up to Honcho that we don't have any other options. It's
nobody.
either heartbreak
Right.
or hoe.
We do. Y'all just don't expand.
But
y'all
you just said-
Who is it? Who is
I
it?
have to
We do.
agree. Hold
You're
on,
right, we
wait.
do.
I have to agree
do.
with Ed there because boy, when I tell you what, when I stopped listening to all this bullshit that's coming out these days, I started listening to a lot of indie music. I realized that there is a broad, huge list of artists out there that I've never heard of
But not real
whose music I absolutely love now.
Yeah,
Like,
but this nobody's hearing them like that unless you go look.
unless
for
you go
them.
look
Exactly,
for it,
you have
right?
to
So the
search.
music that's being presented to the faces of everybody
Right.
through television, through movies,
Yes.
through radio, through social media. That's all the stuff that's killing everybody, man.
that
That's
just
all
goes
the
to
stuff
show that
that's
nobody's-
spreading everybody
Was
apart.
that not music back in the day? You had to look and go underground and
Yeah,
Hold
actually
on,
search
but
for
this is the
songs.
point.
Understand the
Nobody
landscape.
searches
Hold on,
anymore.
Ready?
I didn't have to look
Understand-
for Keith Sweat songs.
Understand
I didn't
the
have to
difference
look
in the
for
landscape.
Jodeci songs. I didn't have to look for these
Hold
songs.
on. Look at the difference in the landscape of music now compared to in the 90s, early 2000s. Early 2000s, 90s, before even CD players were a thing.
Love
People had to go get the
heartbreak.
records, had to actually go to record stores and buy records. Now you don't have to do that.
2000,
Now
not
you can.
99.
No, I know, but
Not
you
so
know what
much-
I mean.
that's when they started getting
CDs,
shaken
fucking
ass.
tapes, cassettes, all that crap. People had to go to the stores to buy. Right now, you can just go on your phone. I could just type in any song I want. It's way different. The landscape of how people consume music is different. Back then, they still had the music that was on the radio stations, but they also had record stores where you can go in, and some people, I guarantee you, would chill in the record store,
FYI.
put the record in the thing, and listen to it, see if they like it or not. For hours, I guarantee you.
Y'all remember
People were sitting in there for
FYI
hours
and
back then.
Radio Shack
Nowadays,
and
there
shit?
are people just like me, because now I've been, like, I go through my spurts where I'm like, I really want to hear new music. I'm tired of hearing what's on my playlist. I'm tired of hearing my own shit. I want to hear new music. And I will go and I will start searching. Just playlists. I've never just even small
Right.
time. They only got 1,000 listeners. Not even. Sometimes some of these
Well,
playlists
that's
they
how I
don't
found
got
that
no
song with
followers.
Rollo. I just happened
song?
to.
Ain't no song with
name of
Rollo. I'm sorry. That's my
It
thing.
is,
now.
I know
He
you
said
gotta
it
let
ain't
me
no
play it.
song.
You gotta let me play it.
that is.
Rollo who? Rollo Rodriguez?
Yes.
Oh.
I love
Yo,
that
so many
song.
artists use their freaking. No, Rilo Rodriguez is the artist. Rilo Rodriguez.
Rilo.
Yeah,
That's
Rilo.
insane.
So many artists
It's,
use his beats. Like type beats type shit. I don't know.
Because he did resample. It's a sample.
Most of the songs nowadays are.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah, because they're not damn original.
Nobody has originality anymore. The creativity is
When
dying.
you go to listen to Goji,
Tell me,
when you listen to Pink-
Tell me
when you
about
listen
some,
to Pink
Tell me about some
dying.
'90s hip hop, Ed.
Like-
Educate me on '90s hip hop. What was that? What was the
Creativity
entire
is dying.
'90s hip hop?
What song?
drugs.
What was the entire '90s hip hop production wise? Nothing else production wise.
Hold on.
Nothing but samples, you dick.
Yeah.
Hold
Nothing-
on.
What-
Facebook
yeah.
Live.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
And
First
then
and foremost,
let's
we're doing
hold
interview.
on, because I gotta give
Disclaimer,
I gotta shed light
guys, this
because
is
we act like
Tam's
covers
page.
Sorry,
and
guys.
samples. We act like covers and samples hasn't been a thing until as of recently. But we gotta give props to the good Luther Vandross.
That's
who
right.
Was the
Keith
cover king.
Sweat and just I don't know.
Luther Vandross was the cover king. He
definitely
covered a
was.
lot of songs that we thought were originals just because he felt that and we felt it with him.
Man, that's just like me saying Jacquees is the cover king. Come on now, like stop.
Why would we say that? What the fuck did
But
he?
guess what?
What did he cover?
Jacquees is not making enough love music.
Exactly.
That's his area.
Exactly. That's what he should be
would make
doing.
some more. that
Luther
we could
Vandross was
like.
on it. He
I'll
was
tell
like,
you
"Are
what.
we talking about it?"
I tell you what. You want love music? I'll
Yeah.
give you a whole playlist. I gave you 3 just now.
But no, when you think about it,
for
I'll give
young
it to you.
people, I want that.
Who is
I
making
want
a
it
love
to be
playlist anymore?
Love music that I hear young people listen to, because I feel like young people have a lot of violence going on right now,
Yes.
and a little bit is, can they get some love music?
'Cause you know
Maybe
what come
just
with
the
that love?
energy.
You know what come with that love? Let's be honest. You know what come with that love? Early pregnancies.
Shut up. That is not what
Oh my
comes.
God! What did you just say?
Like that.
I hate
like,
we
you
are
gotta
not
understand the generation that we in right now. Like we in that.
You back with the MTV Teens is Pregnant on MTV.
No,
We
that's what.
Just 'cause you
that's
were a
a
teen
reality
dad,
that we
no.
in right now. Like, come on.
All right, well, we are at the
Yeah,
end of the
please.
show, guys.
Please
We
get me
are
off
beyond the
Please get
90
me off
minutes
this.
Oh
now,
my
so
God!
we are going to go
I'm
ahead
gonna
and
have
wrap
to
it up.
come back. This has been absolutely awesome. Good gracious.
Oh, my goodness grief. Coco, tell everybody where to find you, all that good stuff.
Well, guys, you can find me on Facebook. I'm Tamara Wills. You can go to Bridging the Gap Youth Program. You can find me on IG. It's coco.the.plug. And BTGYP on IG as well. Y'all, I'm on LinkedIn. My website, btgyp.org. That's that business stuff, y'all.
This is
You
a
got-
real professional we talking
Ooh,
to.
that's that stuff you got to pay for
Yeah.
in order to be in business.
And y'all got to come and rock with the Spotlight Showcase, man. It's, like I
Yeah.
said, this time we're doing a lot different, so we got...
New date coming soon.
We'll try to... I'll put out a little something of what it could look like, you know, but...
No.
I love getting to Ed. But next week we have Sin coming on to the show. Coco, I appreciate you coming through. Yes, we are going to get you back here
Yes.
pretty soon. I mean, she's
Awesome.
around a lot more now, so we'll definitely get you back pretty soon. Until next week, guys.